There's a new pasture hay crop insurance program in Pennsylvania that's offered statewide. It covers losses due to lack of rainfall based on NOAA data. A producer can choose between two 2-month periods to insure. If he selects 90% insurance coverage and rainfall is 70% of normal rainfall, then a loss of payment of 20% in the amount of protection purchased would be paid. Let's hear from a producer policyholder about how it works for him.
Okay, my name's Dave McElhaney in western Pennsylvania, Beaver County. We have an 80-cow shorthorn operation, all grass-based. Run our cows on approximately 200 acres of grasslands. We do intensive rotational grazing, and we do direct marketing to our consumers in the greater Pittsburgh area via farm markets and subscription-based CSAs. We also do sell some genetic seed stock as well, selling heifers, bulls, embryos, semen packaged as well. The reason we got started in it became very apparent that because of the topography of this ground in here, we could really raise a lot of grass with very little problems. But row cropping, there was an enormous amount of penalties. Contour strips, you can't run really more than 4-row planters, like for corn planters. Same way on the combine side, there was enormous penalties to pay because of the terrain. On the consumer side, yeah, there's enormous, the pastoral, atmosphere or image that is portrayed with that has an enormous amount of value. That's what people really enjoy. And then the health benefits that are associated with, those same healthy, happy cows out there grazing, that equates to happy, healthy meals for their family. So it's a very positive message. Some of the just initial challenges, really, water was one of our bigger challenges in getting started, just ensuring that we had water in enough locations. That's kind of something that we always look at and try to address if we can shorten travel distances and so forth like that, and keep the cows spread out rather than consolidating in smaller areas, things like that. We try to do that as much as possible, but that was probably one of the first things that we encountered, and probably also as our mindset too was a little bit, you get used to contour strips and certain things, aspects of it that you got to kind of get rid of that and have a very open mind and how you're going to set up your paddocks and things like that. What it really did too for us as well is it allowed us to focus on what was really making us money. We were spread pretty thin. Now we focus just on the cattle. It gives us, we're with them a lot more, so we're able to maintain them in a different fashion, a lot better fashion. I think reduce our need to utilize antibiotics, things like that. Any type of growth promotants, we don't use any of those anymore. Only use antibiotic as prescribed by a vet if we would have an animal sick or injured. And that allows us also then to go to our consumers and tell our story like that. With grazing, there's no exact set of rules. You have to, Mother Nature makes the rules and you adjust accordingly to them. But with grazing, you have the ability to make those adjustments. It's very fluid and very easy to make those kinds of adjustments. You either speed up or slow down your grazing depending on what Mother Nature, what hand she deals you. In the East, we never really had a lot of insurances that were designed. They were more designed for the Midwest. We always had penalties because our crop bases weren't big enough, on corn, wheat, and so forth like that. So they really didn't benefit us much back then. And there really hasn't been anything in the grazing arena till this program came around, and it fits very good, and this might be the year that it might kick in and be very beneficial for us. But it's nice to know that you have that little peace of mind that you know if you get into a bad or into a drought situation, you're going to be covered to buy your winter stock of hay if you have to use a big portion of it just to get through the late summer and fall. So it gives you a lot of peace of mind at a very economical rate. The way the program's been based here in our county and the western end of the state, the initial, the rollout or the pilot, if you will, is based on rainfall. I believe it goes back 3 years on a 3-year average on the rainfall on a monthly basis. You allocate dollars to the months out of 10 out of the 12 months, I believe, is the way it works. One of the things that we had to recognize initially, too, your first thought is, July, August, September. That's our drought-prone period of time. But if you have a dry April and start off with 1 foot in the hole. You need to actually allocate some of your dollars into April as well, the other parts of the year, even if your snowfall precipitation is not as high as what it normally is over those years. Those are things you need to think about. Yes, yet you probably do want to put a little more in your typical drought-prone time frame, but you need to look at the other months as well. So that was a little thing right off the bat that we never really thought of, that I'm glad it was pointed out to us that we may want to do that, because it's been beneficial to have that coverage. We really like to get clear into about December 15th or the 20th grazing with minimal hay feeding. We try to store forage. This year might be a little bit of a challenge to store some late fall forage. We'll dedicate an area and not graze it for the rest of the fall until about mid-November, and then we try to be back out grazing by April 15th. We typically need somewhere between 800 and 1,000 bales, depending on, again, how many cows we winter. We do try to pay attention to our grass and not beat it up too hard and overwork it, but one of the things that the insurance does is gives us a little leveler playing field, that we don't have to make knee-jerk management reactions to a drought situation or something like that. We now have that coverage and that peace of mind that we know we can go buy forage, where before, if we got into a situation, we might start shedding more animal units to lower the amount of need for forage over the winter, so we can feed some more over the fall. So we would have to sell the factory, so parts of the factory, to make sure that we didn't find ourselves in a bind. Where now with the insurance, it makes that we don't see those knee-jerk reactions in management. We can make a lot better decision because we have that coverage. You just don't have enough animal population or enough ground to really make the commodity system pay for you. By direct marketing, our cash flow is significantly improved, our profit margins significantly improved, and our per acre, we kind of look at it a per acre basis, our gross income per acre is significantly improved by direct marketing. First named it, we thought it would be a good name, but we were Pennsylvania Premium Dry-Aged Beef. Too big. Consumers very much embrace the family concept, the family farm concept. They want to know the people that are producing their food. So we use our name, McElhaney Family Farm. Pennsylvania, particularly, and even surrounding states to it, I think there's an enormous amount of opportunities there. When you look at the population basis that sit adjacent to it, within anywhere from 5 hours to half an hour, the population basis that are there, I think a lot of farm operations, given their size, there's opportunities, and people should not overlook. They should challenge themselves to look and see how they can direct market. I think that can be a savior of the family farm. And as I've said, farming's a labor of love, and there's a lot of labor, and we love to do it, but it makes it a lot better if you can at least make a little bit of money at it. If you can do that, then all those things become a lot more passionate to you and enjoyable.